stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Well, I don't know, Chase may join us. He's feeling a little under the weather, but he may come in a little late and join us. So I thank you all for being here tonight. As we've talked, there's a lot of illness going around. We have Councilman President Goodman sitting down here with Shada, because she's the strongest and sturdiest of us all. So she's going to sit next to him. He's been exposed to RSV and
You name it.
flu and everything. Yeah. So
All of it.
we're happy to have you all here tonight. The Common Council regular meeting from November the 22nd, did everybody have a chance to take a look at those minutes? And if so, and they didn't find any problem, I would entertain a motion to accept the minutes.
Do you have a pen?
Second.
Moved by Fitzwater, seconded by Goodman. Those in favor? And it's unanimous. Thank you very much. The Board of Public Works and Safety meeting minutes for November the 3rd and 15th and December 1st for information only. Those are in your packets. Communications, just want you all to know you're invited tomorrow to the State of the City address. We're giving that at the Fulton County Museum. It's at 11:30. Lunch is being served. If you come and give them the mayor's name, oh, I better not say this on the internet.
Sure.
Probably not a good
No,
choice.
not a good thing, so.
No.
I'll talk to you all afterwards. Okay? But anyway, lunch is being served at 11:30 and
Certainly,
speech.
any public is invited to that.
Yeah. Yes.
Absolutely,
Open to
public
the
is
public.
invited. I promise we're only doing 30 minutes this year. We've had a lot of great stuff happen, but we've honed it down to 30 minutes. It's been a wonderful year, it really has for the city. So that is tomorrow. We've got a couple of public hearings. We have some public here today. So I would open the first public hearing. It's for ARPA fund for Minnow Creek Maintenance Fund, additional appropriations. I would open that public hearing. Shada, would you like to speak?
Not particularly.
Not particularly.
Well, we've had this conversation for a couple months, so I don't know that I need to take a real deep dive in this, but this additional
Well, it's
appropriation.
Minnow Creek, it isn't too deep.
Well,
But
that's
anyway,
true,
go
it's a
ahead.
very shallow creek. But this additional appropriation are for two funds. One is the Minnow Creek Maintenance Fund, and that was the fund that we used to repair the creek on 6th Street and 3rd Street. So those areas where we had to dredge it out, we had to rebuild some, and I'm gonna say this wrong, we had to redo some of the piping and things underneath it because it was not flowing well, and we took care of that. And the other one is for the ARP grant, which is our ARPA money that we received, and if you all recall, you approved the water department to do a water main extension project on Deer Run. That project is complete, and we do need to do an additional appropriation for that fund in order to pay those bills and get that taken care of for the water department. So that's what those two additional appropriation requests are for. That's all I've got.
Yeah, it's not any new monies we're going out after, it's shuffling the other monies around and the ARPA money, which is, as you know, infrastructure was one of the things it was designated to be used for, and we have used it for infrastructure a couple of places, so things we wouldn't have been able to finance, we've been able to do with the ARPA funds, so it's worked out pretty well. Any discussion up here? Any discussion from the public appropriating the ARPA funds and such for these projects? Okay. I would accept a motion to close the public hearing.
So,
Moved by Garrett, seconded by Smith. Those in favor? Gotta look all over the room for hands. Okay, it's unanimous. Public hearing is closed. now that we can slip right down to, the encumbrances,
No, you still
can
have,
I?
no,
Oh,
you still
no,
have
no.
another public hearing, that's a separate one for the code violations,
Okay, be the resolutions.
yes.
Okay, we're down to the resolutions then to close out that piece of business. Resolution 12-2022, ARPA Mini Creek additional appropriation. Marty, would you mind reading that? I would take a motion to have that reading by title only.
So why not its entirety?
So moved by
We want out of here.
Todd, seconded by Goodman. Those in favor? The only reason you're not reading is because you're sitting way in the back of the room in the corner. Remember how it was when you were in school?
Well, make him stand up at the lectern and read.
Yes.
Let him have fun class.
We'll clear it off
I would be
just for
happy to
Brian.
read it if I could find it.
Okay. Well, see, Goodman always did a good job of winging it.
Do we have, was it in the packet?
It
Yeah.
was, and amongst a whole bunch of other things.
I'm sorry I didn't ask you to read it, Goodman. No, Marty, would you read it by title only, please?
Resolution 12-2022, additional appropriation.
That's the
Okay.
title.
Okay. Do I have a,
I thought I did a real good job.
You did a nice job.
Thank you.
Yeah. You only need one reading too, so you don't have to get worn out over that. Do I have a motion to accept Resolution 12-2022?
So moved.
Moved by Goodman, seconded by Smith. Those in favor?
It's Brian.
Oh, I'm sorry. Fitzwater accepted that, and the vote is unanimous. Thank you very much. Second resolution is 13-2022.
No, you've got a public hearing you need to do first.
Another.
You've got
Oh, that's
another
another
hearing.
public hearing, I'm sorry. Oh, wait a minute.
There's so much paper with that one, that's what I was.
Yes, that one, there was a lot of paperwork that Heather sent over.
I don't have that under the public hearings.
It's
Yeah,
zoning
zoning
code
code
violations, Area Plan Commission Director Heather Reddinger.
Oh, okay,
Zoning code violation.
okay. And that is for Resolution 13-2022, the water.
Would
Okay.
you like my glasses?
Here it is.
There you go. Much better.
Busting my chops again. There she is. Okay, this is the correct one. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Are we good here?
Heather, we're gonna open the public meeting. Do I have a motion to open
The birthday's in March.
the motion by Todd? Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Smith. Those in favor to open public hearing, and it's unanimous. Hearing is open. Heather, you have the floor.
Okay. Well, as you said, there was a lot of paperwork with this violation. I was kind of at a standstill on what I could do next. As you see in the photos, the house needs quite a bit of repair, and they've been trying to repair what they could. The problem is, a family lives there and they have a mortgage on it, so I can't condemn a home that a family lives in. So I need you guys to guide or decide what we want to do next with it.
Well, I mean, you can, it's,
Well, I
I
can,
understand
but
what you're saying, but it gets down to a safety situation too. We don't want anybody hurt
Right.
who's living there. Is there any input back from the mortgage holder? I would think they would have a special interest in that.
I haven't spoke to the mortgage holder. I'm not sure how that next step would go, considering they have a mortgage on it. They did get some quotes, I don't think I included those in the packet, or it would have been a lot larger, from AccuLevel and from another company, but the AccuLevel is the ones that came in and tried to do some work, and then they made the wall fall more, and they're the ones that put the wooden braces in there, as you've seen in the photos. It's gonna be very costly to fix this home, so it's not something they're gonna be able to do anytime soon. Right now, it's not structurally unsound where, you know, if the wind blows wrong, it's gonna fall over. By the photos, you can tell it does need work, but we've gotten calls from the neighbor, which in turn brought us to this point, and I thought they were gonna be here tonight, but, to let you know what their plans were. so.
Well, the neighbor actually reached out to the mayor,
Mhm.
and this is where we got the whole ball started. And the pictures and such, their property is very close, and they're afraid they're gonna lose part of their property when this house goes.
It's leaning to
It's
that neighborhood.
going that direction.
Mhm.
And, again, I would have thought that they would have let their mortgage holder in on this, maybe not. Attorney Perkins, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, my thoughts are that generally, if the mortgage company believes the investment in preserving its security is worth it, the terms of the mortgage are almost certainly going to allow them to do so. But it depends on that value proposition from the mortgage's standpoint, because some mortgage companies just won't do it. It's not a simple tax payment or anything like that. Some mortgage companies will go to the borrower and offer to refinance. I don't know if they're in that position. And keep in mind, just because the council votes to affirm doesn't mean we're 2 weeks from an order condemning the house or removing anyone. There's still a great deal of flexibility that we can pursue kind of as a legal department. Once it's affirmed, it allows us to proceed with a court action, but that court action doesn't have to result in an order that makes someone homeless. It can result in an order to repair the property that is now enforceable by contempt of court, which the building inspector order really isn't. But I would certainly, in the action like that, use a title search to include the mortgage company and any other parties with an interest in the real estate. So I've gotten all kinds of answers from mortgage companies. It usually gets their attention. It kind of depends on what tier of investment that mortgage is. If it's not considered a mortgage with favorable terms, they may not go to great lengths to help the borrower repair the security. But certainly putting them on notice doesn't make our job appreciably more difficult. It gives us another seat at the table and someone else to talk to who can maybe help us persuade the homeowner to undertake the work.
Yeah, that makes quite a bit of sense. I would guess, if I had to, the mortgage holder may not even know anything about this. And
That's very often the case.
Yeah, but if there's a substantial mortgage, they certainly have an interest in this.
Sure.
I would think.
Where would the insurance carrier come into play at all in this? Not till after something happens, right? I mean, would there be interest?
If they happen to inspect the property.
I mean, if there's a
certainly
mortgage
would
on it,
get
they have to
involved.
have homeowner's insurance to some degree.
Yeah, you would certainly think so, yeah. Well, it sounds like, just my opinion here, and let the council kick this around. You need some help here from this council
Yep.
that will certainly get it moving. If you decide just not to do anything, then nothing's gonna get done. And then we all sit here hoping that that wind doesn't get any stronger.
Right. So I've been talking with him for, I don't know, a few months now. I mean, I know 50,000, I think, was the quote, so it's hard for people to come up with that, and I understand that, but I told her the structure outside, the hole definitely needed to be fixed first. Not only for the safety of the neighbors, but also who lives there. You know, they've got a family with children that live in the home.
Well, again, it could be a situation where if the mortgage holder knew about it, the mortgage could be expanded
Sure.
to take care of that. But that's, if nothing's done, nothing's gonna happen.
Do we have does the city itself have a dog in this fight at all? I see this between the person who is leasing the property or renting the property, the homeowner, or the mortgager, or a bank that's been involved. Can the city put their foot in on this type of business?
Well, I think, Heather, the answer there is your office, right? That's the city's,
I'm sorry, I was,
John was wondering what the involvement was of the city here, and that would be through your office.
right, I mean, we start out with our letters, which we've done, and I kept in communication, and, she's actually the tenant of the home here.
Good evening.
But once we reach our point of sending out our last letter, you know, and there's not much more that I can push besides bringing it to you guys to decide for the repairs or condemning or timelines, and then the attorney, so.
I was gonna say, I think Andy
Yeah.
was gonna kind of,
Yeah.
basically it's the council's, it's our responsibility, the council, to affirm the action of her office or not.
Exactly.
Right.
So,
Well,
I'm
I'm just
sorry.
wondering, I'm just wondering how the city will get, you know, I mean, sure, okay, you could condemn the property, and that's, well, then you can do that, but I'm again with everyone else, that I would think that the mortgage, whoever's holding that mortgage, it has to be somebody that's holding the mortgage somewhere. And whether that be an individual or a bank or whatever, that they're the ones that you would be talking to, I would assume.
Yes, ma'am, we were talking before you got here that
Yeah,
if you have a mortgage on the home.
there's a mortgage on the home, and we had hired somebody to come in, as, I don't know if she stated that.
Yeah, she's
We
told
hired
us.
somebody to come in,
You have a $50,000 estimate.
yes, and, well, it was 20-something thousand. He came in, and, well, he had his men come in after we signed the contracts and everything for the financial, everything went through, and they put 2x6s up and didn't hold our foundation properly and drilled into our wall, and the wall down our basement kind of caved in a little bit, and then he ignored our phone call. These people left, and then this is without a permit. He did it without a permit. We don't know why.
Now, is this, excuse me, but is this someone you obtained or your mortgage holder obtained?
That we obtained. It was AccuLevel. Me and my father, Tim Sager, we obtained AccuLevel to come in and do our foundation. We signed the contract, we financial and everything. He came in and then he backed out the minute he saw what his workers did by drilling in and not properly securing that older foundation in our basement. And they saw that it collapsed, and then he ignored our phone calls for weeks until we reached our deadline of getting the permit. And then he had his boss call and say that they're not willing to go through with it.
Okay, question. Is your mortgage holder involved?
Yes,
Okay. Are they giving you any input on who does the work or anything? I mean, they certainly have a big dog in the hunt.
well, we haven't went through our First Federal to ask for, who to go through. We did on our own. AccuLevel came in, they brought in, structural engineers, and the structural engineer said it's savable. We just need to build a new wall, and that's it. That it's salvageable. And
Is this structural engineer from LaPorte by chance? Rick? Is it Rick?
I'm not, it might be Rick.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
I apologize for interrupting. What is your name?
It's Laura Barnes.
Laura Barnes, okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
I'm sorry, didn't you identify yourself?
It's okay.
Laura, how long have you lived there?
L-A-U.
Do you want?
How long have you lived in this home?
I lived in the house my whole life, but I took it over 9 years ago. I've lived there for 9 years. And it's been like this for 12 years and nobody ever complained up until here recently.
Well, the pictures are pretty devastating.
Yeah.
Uh,
But we've been in the process. My husband, we were doing the inside. We got pictures of our inside of our house. He's redoing the inside of our house. We've already spent thousands of dollars doing that. And then we were moving to the outside, new roof, new porch, and then we were working on the foundation. And of course, we hired somebody for the foundation, and he backed out when his men messed it up. So now it's just a process of trying to find somebody else to come in and do it.
So you did not pay them up front, did you?
We did,
So they took your money and ran?
pretty much. supposed to refund the money back, but it hasn't been done yet, and I've got emails with this Rob man and myself stating he's refunding the money and everything, but it's an actual company, it's AccuLevel.
Out of Rossville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still say you haven't gotten your army together. And part of that army is, you mentioned First Federal.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get them involved. I'm sure they would wanna be involved.
Right.
Whoever your loan officer is you've been dealing with,
Then,
they can, I'm sure they've got some advice for you.
right.
Wouldn't you think, Attorney Perkins?
I mean, I don't want it condemned. I've lived in this house my whole life.
Sure.
And, you know, the foundation it's salvageable. We've had people come in and state it's salvageable.
Yeah,
Like-
well, it sounds like you've had a bad experience with your contract.
With AccuLevel, yes, we've
And-
had
and
other
now-
people come in and look at it and they said it's salvageable.
Well, like I said,
And everything
now
too.
it's time to get your army together and
Right.
get your first draft choices involved, which is the bank. And I'm sure they can probably help you with the guy you're dealing with now, plus
Mhm.
tell you who should move forward to help take care of this. Because what's gonna happen is, correct me if I'm wrong, your neighbor's gonna interject in here at some point because they have to protect their property.
Right.
So I don't see any other way around it than getting the mortgager involved. They're gonna have the most clout.
Right.
The question is, are we gonna affirm the order? Do we wanna grant a stay, time to get this fixed? I mean, that's what we have to answer tonight. I
This
mean, it
is
sounds
not,
to me like you guys
It's not like we
could
have.
pursue legal action against this company if they don't make due and, you know, get a hold of First Federal like you're planning and get all your ducks in a row and then, I mean,
We haven't really had time. My grandma has been
Do you-
sick and I explained it to her. She just passed away. So we've been dealing with this because I'm her caregiver and my dad was power of attorney, so we've been kind of struggling with that. And so we've been trying to deal with that and her property and everything else and lawyers. But we have been doing what she said to do. We've had contractors come in. We hired one and he backed out. Like, I think it was a couple, do you remember when I called you the last time
I think it was
in
Oct-
regards, and to tell you that he backed out?
I think it was October.
I think you had it in your
Yeah.
report.
Well, I'm sorry for
It
your,
was
sorry for your
literally,
loss, by the way.
I apologize, or I thank you
No,
for
no, no,
that.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
You've been through quite a little bit.
And then, of course, I was late because my son just got in a car accident, so.
Jeez, when it rains, right?
Oh, well, when it rains, it pours.
I would say though, Brian, your comment about a stay probably would be in order, for at least till the next council, but 30
days.
30 days,
I mean, would you be
you
okay with
need to
that,
get
Heather?
the bank involved. They're probably going to say, gee, yeah, we need to be involved in this right now. They're gonna have bigger,
We did have somebody come in just recently and they said, you know, insurance might pay half, some of it, which money is not the issue. It's the fact of who do we trust?
Yeah.
Because
Well,
we just got,
and
you
you
know.
gotta keep in mind here, it isn't just you carrying this load, the bank has the
Right.
load too to
Right.
carry, so you gotta get your partner involved in
Right.
this. The other thing too to remember is the council can do a 30-day stay, but at some point they have an obligation to your neighbor as well.
Right.
And if something would happen, we're on the grid.
Right.
So Heather, is there a letter that we can have drafted that we could send to First Federal in her behalf to let them know what's going on here? And then she can follow it up by going to her banker? Is that
Andy?
something? Huh? Is that something?
she's calling
I can help,
Randy.
Can you help?
I can certainly help Heather put that letter together, sure.
Okay. Does that sound like a plan?
So,
Does that sound agreeable?
Oh, I wasn't really. sorry. She said Andy and I didn't know who Andy was.
I'm sorry.
I
You
was
know, we
looking
got
around.
voices coming from all over the
I'm
room,
trying to
right?
figure out where everything's coming from.
We're gonna beam you up to Scotty in a minute here,
I'm
you know?
having a hard time here.
No, we've got, over here on the big table,
Oh.
we've got Attorney Perkins who
Oh,
couldn't be
okay.
here, but he's on the big board.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
The
so,
January meeting is January 24th. So it would be at that meeting that she would come back at the January 24th meeting for an update. And
Yeah.
then they could either affirm or deny the order at that point, depending.
yeah, I would say you could get the ball rolling pretty good by then. I know First Federal won't, they won't sit on it, and Andy is going to help Heather draft a letter to send to them, and then you can follow up by a visit.
Right.
So,
I was gonna say my dad, Tim Sager goes through Ben Daltrey, I think that's his name.
Dalton.
Dalton, through First Federal, so,
So is the mortgage in your parents'
my dad,
name?
yeah.
Sound good, Andy?
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. How come your picture's changed? The upstanding lawyer to the guy who's out there on the fishing barge or something someplace. You look like you're on vacation.
He's in the parking lot.
It is.
It's in the parking lot?
I'm trying to be.
Good shot, Andy.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, it does.
I like
Well,
Okay, so I'm trying to understand, I'm so sorry, my mind's everywhere right now.
well,
So I'm just trying to understand, like, we have 30 days,
yeah, you've got to get the bank involved.
okay,
And Heather's gonna help with that.
okay,
Andy's gonna help with that, the attorney. They'll put a letter together,
okay,
copy her, it'll go to the bank, and then, you need to follow it up with a visit to Ben Dalton, you and your
Okay.
father, is the way I would see it going.
And since your dad's name is on the paper, make sure he goes also.
right, right,
Absolutely,
right.
absolutely.
We
Is
just
that-
don't want kicked out of our house, you know, I got a disabled daughter, and it just came as a surprise that we've been there 9 years, and the foundation's been like this for 12 years. And not one person has ever said anything until recently, and it's been the same condition for 12 years.
Well,
And now that we're fixing up the house, now it's getting brought up, which I think it's just our neighbor got mad because we've been doing construction to the inside, which kind of makes the outside of our house look trashy, because that's where we have to store the construction from the inside of the house.
well, we've seen the pictures, and Heather's had inspectors on site.
Yeah.
And I would say your neighbor's got a pretty serious concern there. It could fall, and we, that's how we were pulled into it, so.
Yeah.
Now you've got a path to follow,
Yeah.
and the thing you need, you
Now, if we
got,
find somebody, I mean, but they don't wanna start until after 30 days, I mean, what's that mean?
You talk all this out with Ken, because like I said, First Federal's gonna be very interested in seeing this come out right.
No,
Right.
Ted, what she's asking is from the council's perspective. If they find a contractor, but they can't start, say, until March, if you have a contract, if you find a contractor and you get something in writing, absolutely bring that back. You need to get everything together that you can get together before the January meeting of,
Okay.
this is what we've accomplished, this is what we've got going on, and try to have all of that stuff lined up. So when you come back, you have evidence and proof to them that you have
You
that.
need a plan.
Mhm.
And we can't go on what ifs because that would last indefinitely
Right.
tonight. So, as the old saying goes, get your ducks in a row and get to the bank and get talking with Ben, with your dad.
So,
Alright. I just wanted to make sure, like, we're not gonna get
Yeah.
kicked out after 30 days
no,
or
no.
anything like that. Even if they can't do it till March or something.
I've been here for 7 years, some of these folks been here longer than that. I don't remember anybody getting kicked out by the city council.
I never have been a
No, so we're here to try to help.
Right,
But, like I said, we have an obligation to your neighbor as well.
right.
So good luck. If you got questions after seeing Ben, or you wanna talk further about it, you can give me a call. I'll see if we can get Attorney Perkins to consult here a little bit.
Okay.
We'll try to work this out for you. And we'll see what you've got done in 30 days.
Alright,
Okay.
alright, appreciate it.
Good luck.
Happy New Year. Better New Year,
Oh,
right?
well, hopefully it's a better new year. I got a 17-year-old I gotta go home and attend to now.
Uh-oh. Well, good luck. Good
Oh,
luck
thank
to
you.
You betcha. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thanks, hon.
Okay, we're still in the public meeting. Heather, anything else to throw at us?
Not right now, next month I will.
Okay, any discussion up here? Anything, no? Good. Anything from the public? Marvin, Dakota, back here, anything?
Do we need any kind of a motion for the
Motion to close the meeting.
30 next day?
Motion to close public hearing.
Well, Todd's brought up a good point here. We need a motion for the stay for this
Yeah,
request.
Do it in-
Close the public meeting.
We do it after.
yeah, close the meeting, so.
So, motion to close the hearing by Goodman, seconded by Fitzwater, those in favor. Okay, the public meeting is closed now.
So I will make the motion to stay the order for till our next meeting.
Okay, do I have a second? Seconded by Wilson, those in favor. Carrie, thank you very much. Those are always difficult. Yeah. John, you've been through a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Okay, new business, 2022 encumbrances.
Yeah, there they are. I really only have one, thank goodness.
Good for you.
Yeah, I know, it's for the tree lawn maintenance for our tree service work. We had some contracts come in October due to weather, I mean, the contractor just couldn't get to everything. And then we had some dangerous trees added to the list in November. So both of those proposals have been approved. I just want to use, we have plenty of money left in this year's budget. They've started the work, so we'll pay it out in January. So that's why we want to encumber it from 2022 to pay it out in 2023. Because there's no point in taking it from 23 when we have it for this year. They just had a lot of work to do. So, but that's what it is. It's for $13,100. And I apologize, I meant to include the invoices and I realized I forgot. But one was $5,800 and the other one, whatever the difference is of that.
I saw the work that had been performed, and yeah, it was done right, proper.
Yeah, I mean, this is, like I said, the one was the approved contract from the October trees, the other one was the most recent that were dangerous trees identified. So, I don't know if you have anything else to say, Brian, you were at that
We
meeting.
need a motion to
Yes.
approve the encumbrance.
Yes, please.
I'll move to approve the encumbrance of $13,100.
Second.
Moved by Smith, seconded by Goodman, those in favor, and it's unanimous, thank you all. Okay, we've got, well, Heather's here as well, we've got a BZA appointment and an area plan appointment for the council to remake the BZA
You don't have a
appointment.
BZA one.
Yeah,
That's me.
no, this is our
Oh, the city
City's
board. I'm
BZA,
sorry.
yes.
Yeah, okay.
yes.
Scared you there for a minute. Oh, we're getting rid of you, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't know what he was talking about. Yeah, there you go. Our BZA representative for the city is Paul Zartman, has been, and Paul's been doing a good job as far as I can tell. And I talked to him before Christmas, and he is willing to continue serving as if the council doesn't have any problem with that. Do you have any problem, Heather, with
No.
Paul's been pretty good? I would entertain a motion unless there's some discussion.
Council.
Do I have a motion to retain Paul Zartman as our BZA representative from the city council?
I'll second.
Moved by Smith, seconded by Garrett. Those in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you, gentlemen. Likewise, our council member who is on the area planning commission, Ruth Gunter, her position's up too, and I believe Ruth stated she'd like to continue.
Yeah, I talked to her after I sent the email out this morning, so she said she's still interested in sitting on the board.
She's not here this evening. There's an illness in the family and she's not here, so, but she did make known to Heather she would like to be reappointed. Anybody have any objections?
I'll make a motion to continue that appointment.
Councilman Wilson makes the
Second.
motion, Councilman Goodman seconds. Those in favor? Thank you all.
Thank them for the willingness to be on those boards.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, we've had all of our resolutions. We didn't do
No, you
We
got
do the-
water and wastewater
We've got
budget.
water and wastewater, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, we've got, the first one is the water budget, the resolution 13-2022 for 2023. Do I have a motion for reading by title only of the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Garrett, seconded by Goodman. Those in favor? Councilman Goodman, would you read by title only?
Resolution 13-2022, a resolution approving the budget for the municipal water works of the city of Rochester, Indiana for the year ending December 31st, 2023, and appropriating the several sums for the general funds of the waterworks to several uses and purposes as in the budget set forth.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion to approve resolution 13-2022?
So moved.
Moved by Goodman, seconded by Fitzwater. Those in favor, and it's unanimous. Thank you, gentlemen. And resolution 14-2022 for 2023 is the wastewater budget. Councilman Goodman, or do I have a motion?
Motion to read in by title only.
By title only, seconded by Todd, and those in favor, it's unanimous. By title only, Goodman?
Resolution 14-2022, a resolution approving the budget for the municipal sewage works of the city of Rochester, Indiana for the year ending December 31st, 2023, and appropriating the several sums for the general funds of the sewage works to several uses and purposes as in the budget set forth.
Okay, do I have a motion to accept 14-2022?
So
Wilson makes the motion, Garrett seconds it. Those in favor? And it's unanimous. Thank you. Thank you all. Okay. That gets us down to department reports. Fire Chief Butler?
Good evening. For the month of November, structure fires, 1 in the city, 6 in Rochester Township. Mutual aids, 1 in Liberty Township, 1 in Henry Township. Stove fires, 1 in Rochester Township. Auto fire alarms, 1 in the city, 1 in Rochester Township. Burn complaints, 1 in the city. Brush grass fires, 4 in Rochester Township. Accidents, 1 in the city, 2 in Richland Township, 4 in Rochester Township. Medical assist, 26 in the city, 17 in Rochester Township, 4 in Richland Township. Lift assist, 3 in the city. Entrapment, 1 in the city. CO checks, 1 in the city, 1 in Rochester Township. Animal rescue, 1 in Richland Township. Service calls, 2 in the city, 1 in Richland Township. Canceled calls, 1 in Henry Township, 2 in Rochester Township, for a grand total of 84 calls, and we conducted 1 night of training. Pending your questions, that concludes my report.
Okay, anybody, any questions for Butler? Somebody's gotta ask. What was the animal rescue? Cat in the tree?
No, we don't do cats in the tree.
Oh, okay.
They come down. I don't recall what that rescue was.
Oh, okay.
I thought,
You weren't gonna bring it
No,
up.
no, this month we've had 2. We had a dog that got his leg stuck in a register, and I forget what the other call was. We had 2 more animal rescues this month as well, but.
Well, we got a call, I think when you were on vacation, about a deer on a piece of ice floating on Lake Manitou.
Yeah, they swim.
Well, that's what Fireman TJ told them. And, yeah, that was quite a shock. That deer will swim when he gets ready to go home.
There you go, and get the-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, that would be, I don't know what we would do with it.
yeah, that's a good.
Barbecue.
process it.
No,
Yeah.
we've had got dogs off thin ice.
Yeah.
I mean, we've done that, but yeah, a domestic animal is a little different than a wild animal.
Yeah, I really wouldn't want to encourage anybody to try and lead a deer off of an iceberg. That might be all you want to do, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good, Chief, thank you much. Chief Shots.
For the month of November, we had 14 accidents, 22 warnings, 30 offenses, 30 case reports, 390 calls for service, 30 lockouts, 2 towed vehicles, 12 people incarcerated. And then you have the crimes that those people were lodged for. Other than that, Bryce Michael has graduated the academy. Catherine Dively is in her 3rd week of FTO. So that brings us up to full staff finally. And then if you remember, Andrew Haney left us and went to Logansport.
Correct.
And when we did that, we retired as Canine Hunter.
Right.
And just so everyone knows, Hunter yesterday lost his battle with cancer.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
They're gonna have a little ceremony.
Sure.
That we're probably gonna try to participate in Friday, so.
Well, he was a good one.
He was very good.
Okay, well, thanks, Chief. And by the way, a big pat on the back publicly to your officers for the holiday weekend. It was quite active.
Very busy.
And they were very successful in not only keeping the peace in Rochester, but dealing with those who weren't so apt to keep out of trouble. And certainly appreciate their
Appreciate that.
recovered some stolen property. It
Quite a
was
bit.
about every case that was reported. They were successful. One being a van, and another being a 4-wheeler, and then we had some pirate thefts off of porches, and our folks came forward, got it all solved. So we've got a good team there.
We do.
They're good, very
We do.
good,
We're proud
and
of
it's a tribute to you, Chief.
I appreciate that. I'm very proud of our guys and gals.
Anybody questions for the Chief?
Good job.
Thanks.
I'll be writing New Year's Eve at 6 o'clock with, is it Brady who'll be working at 6?
Yeah, probably
Yep.
until 7.
Okay, and then I'll write with, is Bryce working?
Yep.
I think so. I'll
Yep.
write with him then after that.
Okay.
Okay, we don't have anybody else here tonight. They're all out working, so. We don't have anybody from Downtown Partnership. Yeah, you guys are the only ones that get to take a little time, yeah. No. Don't have anybody from Lake Management Association, no Area Planning Commission. Goodman, anything for FedCo?
Yeah, we did meet this month. New board is installed, had orientation. There's been an offer submitted to someone to fill the position of executive director. We will meet as a board the 4th to solidify that, vote on that, and then once that's done, I can present to you who it is.
Okay. Any questions?
Is that person accepted or just an offer?
The person has accepted, now has to be, it has to be voted on by the board.
So it has accepted.
The person has accepted, yes.
All right.
Are they local or from out of town?
I'll let you know who it is when we.
Okay, so that's gonna be pretty significant, I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah. Okay, redevelopment commission meets tomorrow. I can tell you this, we're meeting at 8:30 at the gazebo for the Nickel Plate Trail with Seth White, the surveyor, and our engineers from USI to finish up the details for surveying, getting the property down on paper that we're purchasing to move the trail past the wetlands. So look for that to be consummated just right after the first of the year. We'll have the plan then to move forward to 9th Street. Park Board, Chase is homesick. There's been some activity at the Park Board discussing about the plans and projects for next year. We're doing that all over the place right now, goals and objectives for this next year. And you'll be hearing some things as we move along with that. The pool is kind of at the top of the list. There's a lot to do with the pool, and we're going to do it as we can, as fiscally responsible as we can. Okay, Rochester BZA and Council on Aging. I think Marty's on the BZA.
Like, oh, he is, I think.
Councilman
I thought
Smith.
for a minute I was gonna be off.
Marty.
I gotta be careful tonight, cause Heather's here to keep me honest. Nothing to report from Council on Aging. BZA has a full slate tomorrow night. A couple of the usual suspects, addition to a garage on Boulevard Street and a new home on Barrett Road. You all know those lots are so small and it's hard to do anything
Pretty
there.
tough,
but
yeah.
a couple of interesting things. One, Rochester Little League is looking for a variance for a new dugout on the 12th Street. And the Fulton County Airport is looking for a variance to not have to landscape any new construction at the airport because of attraction of wildlife and animals and getting in the way of landings and takeoffs. So it'll be an interesting and different discussion for tomorrow.
If you want a personal experience there, back when I was traveling all over the place for Marshall Electric and the company plane, whenever you would rev the engines up on the company plane out there, coyotes would come out of the woods. I mean, in number up to the, runway and such. So that is a definite concern out there. And I don't know, Andy knows this, but we've had an upsurge of coyotes in our community. They've been seen out at the school. They've been up on the sledding hill. And we've got some folks now on that. We're going to have some meetings right after the holidays with these folks who are going to try to live trap a bunch of these things. But they have all of a sudden become an issue in our community. So don't leave your little dog tied up outside. This is not a good time. Of course, it's pretty cold anyhow for your little dog. Okay, anything else, Marty?
Well, just quickly from fee summary total through November. Rochester residential permit fees, there have been 5 for $228.50. Residential inspection fees, there have been 5 for $300. Electrical permits, 2 for $40. Commercial permit fees, 2 for $90. And community inspection fees of $200 for a total of $858.50.
Okay. Now, Heather, were you gonna give that to us in cash tonight?
I thought she was.
How about a check?
Thanks, Marty. Any questions for Marty? Okay, over at the Council on Aging, anything?
No
Nothing going on?
meeting, yeah,
Okay.
no action in December.
Okay. Solid Waste and Animal Adoption Center, Todd?
Neither of those groups meet in December.
Okay.
So I'll have a report next month.
Smart groups, it's too darn cold. Okay, Tree Board and EMS, Brian?
Tree Board did meet December 7th. I'm getting ahead of myself there.
Pearl Harbor Day, yeah.
And they changed the meetings to Wednesday mornings. So if the public is interested, and if they show up to the Thursday meeting, they won't be there.
It won't be there.
One of the issues already talked about was the encumbrance for the funds. Some of the bids that are going out, contracts that come in, they had to use fish for whatever reason, but they had not submitted their bills. They want to make sure that money from this year, they have to come with more money next year to pay for this year's bills. So that's what we did over today. They're continuing to do removals and prunings. For the most part, that was it. We've got the mayor and Shot over there, if there's anything to add, not.
No, you're good. Keep going.
That's it, I'm done.
Wow.
That's good. Well, they just.
Did you all hear the wind go through the trees?
There's no leaves anymore. No, but there's not a whole lot in terms of removals this time of year, and not a lot of work being done because of the weather.
You're correct. John put out a pretty detailed report here a week ago of what had been removed, including stumps and such, and a lot of work has been done, so they've been doing some good stuff. And moving that meeting to Wednesday is gonna be a good thing. It's gonna allow the tree board to meet in this chamber rather than the little conference room over there, and kind of, you know, make them feel like a real committee. They've kind of been, you know, the redheaded stepchild, because they've never been able to meet in the chamber room because there's always a Board of Works meeting on and such. And they are a very heavy working board, so we're bringing them in here on Wednesdays now. Any questions for Brian?
When's the next meeting?
January.
January
I'm not sure which Wednesday, is it the first Wednesday?
first Wednesday, so January 4th.
January 1st. Yes, at 10 o'clock.
January what, Ted?
1st. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry.
Thank you. I'm not gonna be here
Here's
January
a calendar.
1st.
Yeah, hey,
January.
there's a calendar. Yeah, I believe-
January 4th at
January the 4th, yeah.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, January the 4th. Thank you.
No,
You're
actually,
That's at
welcome.
City
no,
Hall.
they're not gonna meet in January or February. The next meeting will be March
March.
1st, Wednesday, March 1st, 9 o'clock.
That's right, because the board members were gonna be gone.
Yes.
Sorry, yes, thank you.
Okay,
At 9 a.m.
March 1st at 9 a.m.
Say a chair for you.
I know it was the 1st.
That's where you got the first from.
9 o'clock a.m. tree board, March 1st.
Side of our building. I assume that's
Part of their planning effort now, just as an FYI, is we've taken a lot of trees down and needed to. The tree inventory, we've been through it. Part of the tree inventory was, you know, defining which trees, boy, we really need to do something. So we've gone through that pretty heavily now. Most of those are gone. Now we're going back and it's the tree replacement time. So that's the science to the effort going on there. Okay, John, water board?
Yes, water board met on, oh my God, it's another day for sure. Yeah,
Red meters, what?
that's what I say, it's on the, I know that wasn't right. So we met, and they did the chemical quotes for salt, which was Midwest salt, and chlorine was Alexander Chemical Fluoride. Those water solutions, and about the same people we use most of the time. They did the election of officers. Mark Davis was elected president, Cassie Smith is the secretary, and Rachel is the board member. Then Marvin made a motion to purchase 11 acres at 1040 East 4th Street, pending the water quality test result, and that was with a second from Cassie, and it was passed 2-0. Pipe filler wall project, IDM has inspected the wall, and they were very impressed with everything that was done. Everything's going very well at the plant, and Derek's keeping everything running pretty nice and straight. He's not here, so I'll say good things about him.
Well, he's on vacation.
He's on vacation.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, no, but he just does a great job down there, and everything's going smooth, so that's, you know, that's all you ask for.
Yeah, they're doing good stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Should be noted, the property that John mentioned, again, it's part of our planning. We've been looking at this for 2 years now. We've got a couple of wells that have been really suspect on their production out of our 5 wells. So we've been taking a real academic approach on where could we get more well capacity. Our engineering firm we deal with, Peerless, the folks, they've done a geological study and shown us where we have water plumes available in that area of town, and the water plume availability looks to be to the northeast. And that led us to that property that is up for sale right now. We're going through some testing right now to see what the quality of the water would be for that plume and whether that would be an acceptable area.
Aquifer.
I'm sorry, the aquifer, yes, plume, that's an engineering term, plume. Now, that's not the feather on your hat.
No.
Yeah, that has to do with water. But anyway, we're going through testing on that right now and should have some results on that We're hoping before the end of this week, so we'll know what direction we're going there. And then that would be a major project that we have some sources of funding we can reach out to, one of them being Okra and their water program that would help compensate for piping from that location across over to our plant. It still has to be processed. So anyway, that's what's going on there, and will be one of the major projects for this next year. Did I cover that pretty well, Marvin? We have Marvin Davis in the audience tonight, our water board president. He's been very involved in that. I hit that about right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any questions for John relative to the rest of the meeting? Okay. Thank you. Lawyer Perkins, any legal things you have to throw out of this?
Nothing that we haven't already talked about.
Okay.
No.
Shada, you have no ADA concerns or anything?
No.
I have one other piece of business. We have Councilman Thompson, who's ill tonight, but he said he would be by his telephone. Councilman Thompson, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You're saying, I got that darn mayor on the phone and all I want to do is stay warm by the fire, right?
Yeah, right.
Well, Chase, I'm just calling you because I've still got the council in session and we're on TV and everything, and I was so hoping you could be here tonight because we have a letter of recognition, I'm sorry. I have a letter of recognition for you for your 11 years of service to the city of Rochester. And this is going into the permanent record tonight. You're going to receive a framed copy of this along with the mayor's pen and along with your nameplate from the city council. Reads like this, Chase. Letter of recognition. This letter is presented to Councilman Chase Thompson for his 11 years of service to the city of Rochester, Indiana. Chase has served diligently as councilman for the city of Rochester. He's been steadfast, courageous, and farsighted in his decision-making efforts, contributing to the success of the city of Rochester. His conservative decision-making process and decisive discussion contributions will be missed by all involved with city government. We wish him well with his new similar position with Fulton County government, knowing he will be a valuable asset moving forward. Gratefully submitted to the Rochester City Council for inclusion in the permanent record this 27th day of December 2022. Sincerely, Theodore J. Denton, Mayor of Rochester. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, I really appreciate that. And I really wish I could have made it tonight.
Well, no, there's a lot of illness out there. We're just hoping getting better soon because you're going to get sworn in just a few days, right?
I know. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm the first. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Well, we wish you well, and just remember when you're sitting there, you got your roots right here at this dais.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sounds like he's ready to grow up, everybody.
Good luck, Chase.
Bye, Chase. Thank
Night,
you.
Chase.
Thank you.
You betcha. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Last thing before calling for a motion to adjourn, I want to wish you all a happy new year. Those of you in the audience as well. Again, remind you, we have the State of the City address tomorrow at 11:30 out at the museum. You're all welcome to attend. And I want to personally thank you for all you guys' efforts this past year. It has been a good year. You've all participated in that. Thank you very much. I would entertain a motion to close the last meeting of 2022.
So moved.
It's moved by Wilson,
All in favor?
seconded by Carrot. Those in favor?
You got ignored.
Thank you. We're adjourned.
We signed everything.